is Caveman Chreo. This is one of two separate YouTube channels that I'm working on. With that being said, I'm a small business entrepreneur who's working on 3 separate businesses as well as 2 books I'm getting ready to publish. I'm also an administrative insider for NVIDIA, Adobe, and Amazon. I'm starting a digital content marketing career for Premiere projects. I'm using this for portfolio development for DIY craftsmanships and fine arts. I have 2 existing YPP partner programs applications that have yet to opt it in. The reason being is because I have a burner channel on YouTube in which I do not upload content to because I'm more of a community poster. So with that being said, I do give a lot of channels feedback as well as ratings. I gotta give a huge shout out to not only both my parents, but my friends, my colleagues, and my co-workers. They motivated me to go from working as a service technician to ultimately doing DIY projects for digital content and uploading it across different platforms for at least educational sake. But I want to use it to garner attention because I can actually take advantage of the things that I consider hobbies and make a niche out of it. So I can consider it a passion project, but I also consider it a little bit of a clarion call for those who's not particularly artistic. I also want to give a huge personal shout out to TED Talk. The reason being because Chris Anderson and Philip Kotler was the reason why I've got into more of the speaking, reading, and writing side of it. They convinced people like me to get more into effective communication as well as direct communication, which is ironically part of the reason that I wanted to get back on YouTube was because of different reasons. To be more specific, I want to promote socioeconomic leadership. I'm not necessarily saying that YouTube lacks it, but I just feel like there needs to be more community channels that represent that side of it. With that being said, I'm a huge fan of Corridor Crew Studios because they promote cinematography. I'm not saying cinematography is a huge scope of focus, but that pretty much makes YouTube at this point. Now, also with that being said, since I've been working with Adobe, I want to give a huge shout out to Avnish Parker, Justin Odisho, and Will Carmack. The first 5 to 6 months that I've been working with this Premiere software, I have had no real understanding of it. With that being said, they broke it down, so at least for those who's trying to get their feet wet with video editing, those are pretty much the channels that you want to get started with. With that being said, the scope of the focus is more towards the AVIF side of software applications. Me personally, I feel like that's going to be the future of YouTube in a little while. I'm not saying that necessarily that it wouldn't exist in favor of those who's more into video editing, but if you want to look more into the 3D and 4D side of it, then that'll basically transcend YouTube into the very future that it should be in. With that being said, my roots go back to Chicago State University because I started off with the Chreo program and eventually moved on to Upward Bound and then ended off with Talent Search. I got my business education through Harold Washington College, even though I didn't necessarily finish my graduate degree for my bachelor's. The reason being because I wound up getting 2 separate jobs. So for me, I really put money over school. I want to take more advantage of the free time that I have now to not only edit content, but to get into contact with a lot of the people that's working through YouTube. This includes platform workers that's on a high level and a low level. There's a lot of smart individuals that's on YouTube that do not get enough credit. With that being said, Premiere content should be marketed a little bit more, not only through YouTube, but through several other platforms that take advantage of things like video editing and video uploading. So like I said, I'm working on 2 separate channels. So this one is more the business channel, while the other one is more of the technological channel. I don't necessarily want to upload everything to one specific platform, but I want to take advantage of 2 separate ones, even though that might be a lot of work. I know there's a lot of YouTube channels that's out there that's working on 3 separate, maybe 4 separate channels. With that being said, they may experience burnout, but it takes a huge lot of dedication in order to manage all of them at one given go. So not to say that I want to keep this video going any much longer, but I just want to take advantage of this brief time that I'm using as an introductory and an icebreaker. So if you enjoyed this video, I highly recommend you keep up with the content that I'm going to eventually continue to upload to not only this channel, but my other channel.
What?
You can view it under Create SAVATAGE, which is my alternate name. If you made it this far into the video, I am severely tired. I've been up since 7 o'clock this morning and it's literally 11 o'clock at night. I truly appreciate it and I look forward to seeing you.